At the beginning of the movie, we meet an extraordinary chef named Sky. Sky's cooking is so incredibly delicious that people travel from far and wide just to taste it. Customers eagerly wait in line for their turn to enjoy his food. His restaurant became so popular that media outlets frequently came by to interview him. Sky mainly uses traditional, old-school recipes, which make his dishes even more flavorful. Everyone is amazed by his cutting skills and unique cooking techniques. But behind his remarkable talent lies a heartbreaking past, one that is revealed to us through a flashback. Since childhood, Sky had a deep passion for cooking. His father, Mr. Ko, was also a very talented chef. When Sky was just 10 years old, Mr. Ko would often scold him. "You're already this grown-up, and you still can't cook noodles? You'll never become a chef." Then one night, Mr. Ko left Sky behind to pursue his own cooking career. Sky waited for his father for a long time, but he never came back. This deeply hurt Sky, and he made a promise to himself that one day he would become the best chef in the world. In the present day, Sky's father, Mr. Ko, is one of the most renowned master chefs in China. He has earned great fame, recognition, and respect. Some even call him the god of cooking in China. But despite all these years, Mr. Ko never told anyone that he has a son. That's the very reason Sky harbors hatred toward his father. Whenever people make reports about Sky's cooking and ask to try it afterward, he clearly tells them, "To me, every customer is the same. If you want to eat, you'll have to wait in line." Then one day, a powerful man cuts the line and walks into the restaurant. Sky tells him to get in line like everyone else. Offended, the man angrily replies, "This building is going to be demolished in a few months for redevelopment. Then you'll all be kicked out of here." Hearing that, Sky throws him out of the restaurant. On the other hand, we're introduced to a famous and handsome chef named Paul. Paul only cooks for elite and royal families. He also has a girlfriend named Maria, who works as his assistant chef. After tasting his food, both the King and Queen of France praised him highly. Later, a major company in France offers Paul the position of their head chef. But Paul turns the offer down because he wants to fulfill his father's dream. He wants to open his own restaurant in China. Next, we see Paul arriving back in China. He visits a local fish market. At one shop he says, "Give me the biggest fish you've got." But the shopkeeper tells him there's no big fish available. A little while later, Sky comes to that same shop, and immediately, the shopkeeper pulls out a large fish for him. Seeing this, Paul becomes furious. The truth is, Sky was a regular customer at that shop. That's why the shopkeeper had lied to Paul. As the shopkeeper hands the fish over to Sky, Paul steps in and tries to stop him. A heated argument breaks out between Sky and Paul. It's the first time they see each other. Seeing them fight, the fish seller decides to cut the fish in half and gives each of them a piece. Even after that, the two of them continue glaring at each other in anger. Then we see a grand opening of Paul's restaurant. Customers are drawn in and begin pouring inside. The interior is neatly decorated with expensive furniture and a classy setup. But the problem is, Sky's restaurant is located right across the street. Seeing the drop in customers, Sky's friends make a loud announcement. "Today, all our dishes are 50% off." As soon as people hear this, everyone rushes over to Sky's restaurant. Paul doesn't like this one bit. A fight breaks out between Paul's team and Sky's crew. Then, when Paul and Sky come face to face, people around them shout, "There should be a cooking competition between the two." At first, both of them refuse. But with everyone pressuring them, and fueled by their past resentment, they finally agree to compete in a cooking battle. A fish is placed in front of them for a fish cutting competition. Paul steps up first and, using his own unique style, expertly removes the bones from inside the fish. Everyone watching is impressed by his technique. Then Paul tosses the fish towards Sky. Sky catches it and begins to cut. At first, no one really understands what he's doing. But as they watch his fish-cutting style, the crowd is left in awe. He tosses the fish back at Paul, because Sky had perfectly separated the skin from the body in one smooth motion. Impressed by their talent, the chairman present at the event offers them both a chance to participate in the international chef competition. He adds, "The winner will be decided through public voting." Both of them agree to take part. Later we see Paul in an interview saying, People in China still live in the Stone Age. They have no knowledge of modern cuisine. That's why I came from France, to teach them what real cooking is all about. Meanwhile, Sky is sitting in his restaurant watching that interview. Hearing Paul's words, he becomes furious, because he knew Paul was targeting him with those comments. The next morning, Sky heads to the market and sees that Paul had already been there. He had bought up all the fish, at double the price. Sky grows even angrier. Then it's announced, Sky and Paul have been officially selected for the cooking competition. Whoever wins will go on to compete in the International Cooking Finals. And there, in the final round, they'll have to face off against none other than Mr. Ko. When Sky hears he'll be competing against his father in the finals, his face goes pale. Because deep down, Sky still holds intense hatred toward his father. All of Sky's friends begin to cheer in excitement, but none of them know that Mr. Ko is actually Sky's father. On the other side, we see Mr. Ko in an interview being asked about Sky. People had noticed that they shared the same surname and even looked alike. Hearing this question, Mr. Ko gets visibly angry and says, "I don't have a son." The next day, Paul's girlfriend comes and invites Sky to dinner at their restaurant. Sky accepts the invitation and heads to Paul's restaurant with his own girlfriend for dinner. But this time, it wasn't Paul serving the food. Maria was. She brought them 2 dishes, one made with eggs, and the other looked like a tree with mushrooms. The egg dish was absolutely delicious, and the tree-like dish was a highly modern creation. When water was poured over it, it looked as if the dish came to life. Maria smiled and said, "You've probably never seen food like this before. This is one of Paul's signature dishes, the very one he won an award for." Hearing that, Sky took the dish and walked straight up to Paul. He said, "You're just doing all this to make me feel worthless. You're showing off your country's style just to break my confidence." Paul didn't respond, because that was exactly his intention. Then, to belittle Sky further, Paul said, "Can you cook this meat in your own style, Sky?" Sky replied confidently, "Yes." He carefully pan-fried the meat in his own beautiful way, enhancing the flavor and aroma. He prepared it with great care and skill. Everyone around was impressed, but not Paul. Instead, Paul used modern technology to cook the same dish much faster and with less effort. When Sky smelled Paul's version of the dish, he immediately realized, not only was it made faster, but it actually tasted better than his own. Crushed by this, Sky quietly walked away. But after Sky left, Paul tasted Sky's dish, and was genuinely amazed by how good it was. Sky returned to his restaurant and sat there in silence, feeling down. He kept remembering his father's final words to him, words that echoed painfully in his mind. His father had said, "You don't have what it takes to be a chef." Those words kept haunting Sky over and over again. Meanwhile, Sky's father went to meet his old friend, Mr. Hong. Mr. Hong was the very man Sky had been left with as a child. He was a chef, the one who raised Sky and taught him how to cook. Mr. Ko told Mr. Hong, "I want to see Sky. Call him and ask him to come here." When Sky arrived and saw his father, he was completely shocked. After all these years, he was finally face to face with him again. Mr. Ko began asking about Sky's life, but Sky quickly cut him off and said, "I'm not your son. Isn't that what you said in the interview?" Mr. Ko looked him in the eye and said, "Look at me. I'm a successful man. I've won the world's best chef award, twice. And you're just a street chef from an old alleyway, nothing more. So, prove yourself first." Hearing that, Sky looked right at his father and replied, "I will prove myself. But I don't believe you need to be cruel to succeed. And you don't have to abandon your family to become great. That little street chef from an old alleyway will become the best in the world." Saying that, Sky turned and walked away. And then, the cooking competition begins. The judges are present, ready to select the best chef. Both Paul and Sky's friends have also come to cheer them on. Once the competition starts, Sky begins cooking in his own signature style, where he separates the meat using only his hands, without even using a knife. Everyone watching is stunned. On the other hand, Paul sticks to his modern techniques. He uses a variety of sweet flavors to create a dessert, and finishes it well before time. The judges are impressed by how quickly and creatively he works. Meanwhile, Sky takes his full time to carefully finish his dish. Both of their dishes are tasted by the judges. Unfortunately, both of them receive the exact same score. Then one of the judges walks up to the stage and says, "Both chefs did an excellent job, but Sky cooked with depth and experience. However, cooking is also an art, and when time is being counted, Paul finishing before the clock ran out gives him the edge. So, we declare Paul the winner." Hearing this, Paul is overjoyed, but Sky can't celebrate. His heart is shattered, and he walks away, deeply disappointed. Seeing this, Sky's father feels a deep pain too. After losing the competition, Sky was so broken that he didn't return home for several days. He stopped working completely and spent his time playing video games. One day, Mr. Hong comes to visit him. He sits down and plays a video game with Sky. Sky ends up winning the game. That's when Mr. Hong says, "Winning or losing, it's just a part of life. Losing doesn't mean you'll never win again. It means you have to prepare to win the next time." We then find out that the owner of Sky's restaurant is actually Mr. Hong himself. Then we see Paul and his partners celebrating his joyful moment. But within moments, one of Paul's partners tells him something that completely crushes his spirit. He says, "In the next round of the cooking competition, each team will have 2 contestants. So instead of you, Maria will be the head chef, and you'll be her assistant, because she's beautiful and attractive, which will help our restaurant gain more publicity." But Paul tells them, "Maria is just my assistant. She doesn't yet have the skills to compete." At that moment, Maria walks in with 2 bowls of soup, places them in front of Paul, and says, "Taste these 2 soups and tell me which one has more salt." Paul is shocked, because with that one request, Maria had just exposed his biggest secret. Paul has no sense of taste. Maria says, "You think I'm with you because I love you? That's a lie. I've always wanted to compete in the international chef competition. That's been my biggest dream, and someone who can't even taste flavors doesn't deserve to be a chef." Hearing Maria's words, Paul is stunned. Then another one of Paul's friends says, "Maria is my girlfriend now. Don't even think about trying to get her back." Paul never imagined that his own friend and girlfriend would betray him like this. Crying, Paul walks away. He sits by the roadside, drinking one glass after another. And that's when Sky happens to see him. Sky asks, "I lost in the competition, but you won. So why are you in so much pain?" Paul tells Sky the whole truth, that he can't taste flavors, and that his partners betrayed him. Then Paul points at a poster of Mr. Ko and says, "This man is my idol. I want to be a master chef like him." Hearing that, Sky tells Paul, "The man in this picture is my father." At first, Paul doesn't believe him, but after Sky explains everything, he realizes it's true. Sky adds, "He's a very selfish man. I want to win a big competition and prove myself to him." Then the 2 of them throw glass bottles at Mr. Ko's poster, trying to release their frustration and depression. And that's how a strong friendship starts to grow between them. Meanwhile, Paul's business partners arrive at Sky's restaurant. They tell Mr. Hong, "You should leave this place as soon as possible, because very soon this restaurant will be demolished and a new building will be constructed here." Hearing this, everyone becomes extremely angry at them. Just then, Sky and Paul arrive. Paul sees his partners and says, "I've made my decision. For the next round of the competition, I'm taking Sky as my partner." Hearing this, Paul's partner responds, "If you go against us, we'll end your career." That threat infuriates Paul, and he punches him in the face, breaking his nose. Everyone present is amazed by Paul's bold move, and they're overjoyed to see Paul and Sky standing together. From that point on, we see the 2 of them preparing for the cooking competition. Sky teaches Paul traditional cooking techniques, while Paul trains Sky in modern culinary styles. Sky also teaches Paul how to judge the taste of food properly. Mr. Hong supports them both along the way. And through it all, a deep bond of friendship forms between them. Next, we see the beginning of the international cooking competition. Renowned and experienced chefs from all around the world participate in the contest. As the competition begins, each chef starts cooking in their unique style. They finish their dishes within the allotted time and present them to the judges. The judges taste each dish and score them accordingly. When the results are announced, it turns out that Sky and Paul have defeated all their competitors and are selected for the final round. Overjoyed, the 2 of them are filled with excitement. The judges praise their dish, saying, We've never tasted anything like this before. This combination of traditional and modern flavors is incredibly rare. Sky and Paul sit down to discuss the next round. But here's the problem. According to the competition rules, only one of them can go up against Mr. Ko in the final. Sky turns to Paul and says, "I have complete faith in you. I know you can beat Mr. Ko," but Paul responds, "For the next round, I want you to fight, because you should be the one to face Mr. Ko and show him that even a regular chef from a small alleyway can rise to become the best in the world." Paul adds, "Even though I don't have the ability to taste food, I've made it this far. And that to me is a huge accomplishment." He gives Sky all the encouragement he can, and finally, Sky agrees to step into the final round. He turns to Paul and says, "Thank you." At last, the big day arrives. The day Sky will stand before his father and compete. The rules for this round are simple. They can cook any dish they want within 1 hour. Mr. Ko begins cooking right away, but Sky drifts into a flashback. Memories from the past start flooding in. He remembers the time when his father had left him as a child, how the neighborhood boys used to pick on him, and how his friends were the only ones who stood up for him back then. Even today, they're still by his side. Thinking of all this, Sky becomes overwhelmed with emotion. He just stands there, not cooking. Seeing this, Mr. Ko throws a glass of water in his face and says, "Don't just stand there dreaming. Start cooking. I want to see what you're capable of." Then Sky focuses and begins to cook with full concentration. Meanwhile, Mr. Ko prepares his dish with perfect precision. Within an hour, both finish their cooking. Mr. Ko creates a sweet dish that is incredibly tasty and beautifully presented. As always, the judges thoroughly enjoy his dish. But instead of presenting his dish to the judges, Sky brings his directly to his father, Mr. Ko. His dish is noodles, the very same noodles he tried thousands of times as a child but could never make right. Back then, his father used to tell him, "You can't even make simple noodles properly. You don't deserve to call me your father." Now, having perfectly made those noodles, he stands proudly before him. Sky hands his father the bowl of noodles, and then walks away. Mr. Ko tastes the noodles and is deeply moved. He says, "I've never eaten noodles this good before." Hearing this, Sky smiles quietly and leaves. This shows that Sky didn't come to win the competition. He came to prove to his father that even a humble alleyway cook can make world-class food. After Sky leaves, Mr. Ko, overwhelmed with emotion, keeps eating the noodles like a madman. He realizes how much Sky missed him as a child, and how a boy who couldn't cook back then could become such an incredible chef through dedication. Seeing Mr. Ko's emotional reaction, the judges and everyone present finally understand Sky is his only child. In the end, we see that Sky's restaurant is just as lively as before. People are gathering in large crowds again, and Sky along with his friends are serving food to everyone. Now, Paul has also joined the restaurant team. Then, Mr. Hong stands up and addresses everyone. "Our hotel has completed 30 years. Thanks to all of your trust and support, we have passed this milestone. Our constant goal has always been to serve you delicious food at affordable prices. And the government didn't allow this place to be demolished. So we bought it from them. In the future as well, we promise to continue bringing you delicious food." Hearing this, everyone becomes very happy. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and share your thoughts in the comments.